people. Happy Friday. June 12th in my world. And I'm thrilled it's Friday. And yes, it's a Justin concert night. Even though I'm a little disappointed. The real live concert that I was supposed to go to in July in Kansas City has been postponed again. Dang Corona. But I have so much to be grateful for. I shouldn't be whining about that. And I feel a little guilty whining about it. But I still have selfishness in me as well. So it's okay. I'll go when I'm supposed to go, I guess. All right. Our reading today starts with a quote from Maxwell Maltz. Loneliness is caused by an alienation from life. It is a loneliness from your real self. There is a vast difference between being alone and being lonely. To be alone but in touch with ourselves can be very rewarding, but to many of us, the isolation and alienation we feel in our loneliness are devastating. To feel that we have no one, not even ourselves, to depend on can lead to despair. Belonging to a group that shares our pain and has lived through experiences will help end our isolation from others. A 12-step group validates our feelings, shares our griefs, helps us learn to love and trust our higher power, and shares our hope for the future. A group can also be the source for a sponsor, someone we can always go to. Instead of feeling different, as we have for so long, in our group we have a place to feel a part of others and to accept ourselves. Continuing to be a part of the fellowship, we learn how to accept who we are, and we learn that being alone with our true self can be a creative and joyful process in our recovery. Today, help me be grateful for Today, help me be grateful for all those who so freely give of their love and support. I cannot tell you how many times that I have heard in a meeting, especially when newer people are there, you can see the light in their eyes when they realize that we know their pain, we know their experience, we've felt their feelings. There's been a few different times, and maybe it's inappropriate, maybe it's not, I don't know. But we'll talk about some of the obnoxiousness that comes with gambling and kind of laugh about the irony of it, where we all talk about, like, an example might be throwing away our rewards cards. You know, every time I leave the casino, I threw the rewards card out the window, or how many trips to the ATM, or just all these things about how asinine it all was. But these folks knew that if they went home and tried to have those conversations with someone who wasn't, you know, a problem gambler, that it would be very challenging. They would never understand or relate. So there's a lot of value to the community, both in 12 steps, at the center where I go, and whatever other forms of groups there are. You know, Smart Recovery, I believe, is a group. It could be church groups. Just that connection. People being, you know, relatable, as well as there's also value to there's a couple other good reasons to belong to some groups, but you can learn from other people. If you're at a group, you're not gambling, essentially, because you're at the group, but you also probably have a better chance of learning who you really are through listening to other people and taking what you need and figuring out who you are and how you can be alone and okay. And maybe you're in a marriage and you don't, you know, or a relationship and you don't want to be alone per se, but it can make you stronger as a person so that you can be a better partner or whatever. I guess my brain is working a little different this morning because I was working on the book and I was writing about this premise this morning, which was basically, if we take care of ourselves and and heal ourselves, we can stand to be with ourselves and everything else falls into place. But the key is really being able to love ourselves. And I think that if we were alone without group connection or without knowing there's people like us, that it would be very hard to be comfortable with ourselves, because we wouldn't think that we could possibly be okay, or that we're worthy of loving ourselves or treating ourselves with kindness and compassion. So that's the other important reason why the longtime folks, they come in, and some of it's to keep themselves accountable, but they also know they need to give back to the group and show them that. That's part of why they're there, is to be a service and to show folks what it looks like on the other side. And the stories that you hear from the old timers about their evolution and their growth and the things that have impacted them that make them the way they are today, wherever they are in their recovery, is helpful. It's helpful to give newer folks the hope as well, because there is hope. I mean, if you want to quit and you want to work on becoming, I don't want to say a better person, but a better person than you were yesterday. Not that, you're so flawed and broken, but just improving and wanting to do better. So that's kind of my feelings on that. When I first read the first sentence or two, something like alone versus lonely, so many people ask me, and of course, most people thought in general that I was single a lot of the time, that I was maybe not dating the best guys. But I love my alone time, and I love it even so much more now that I like myself. I've always enjoyed it because I'm not good at compromise, and I'm good at being selfish and those kinds of things. But now it's a little bit different. I'm definitely more like, I'm just at peace and chill, and I don't need to have someone in my life to complete me, which, if someone comes along and they compliment me, that's fine. But I don't need to be dependent on anybody else, whether it's, in a relationship or even just being dependent on anybody. I do ask for help when I need it, but it's not like I can't survive without other people's, true help to survive. Anyway, that's my feelings on alone and groups this morning. I hope everybody has a super fabulous Friday. We are on L, I think, for tonight. And I'll probably come on early because it's concert night. And yeah, that's what I got. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. I'll talk to you guys tonight.